Josh, who do we have?
Salguero. We're doing a plea.
Good morning, Mr. Salguero. Mr. Salguero, you're charged with burglary of a motor vehicle. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. What have you guys worked out?
It's a time served. He was sentenced to 2 TDC on his felony revocation. Etc.
Had a lot of trouble getting a hold of you, Mr. Salguero. You pick up cases and you never come to court. I had one bond at $15,005 because you repeatedly failed to show up. The only advice I'm going to give you now is you are headed to prison. From now on, you are nearly what's called a true habitual. When you have 2 pen trips, you're labeled a true habitual. Is this 1 or 2 for you? Pen trips.
First time, sir.
Okay. From now on, anytime you pick up a serious felony, you're looking at a minimum of 15 years to life. So I would be very careful what you do, because like I said, when you're labeled a true habitual, you're looking at a minimum of 25 years to life when you pick up a serious felony. So when you get out of prison, wash that jail funk off and be good. It's not hard. Is it the DWI? Is that what he's going to prison for? Such a stupid crime. All you have to do is push a button, $20, anywhere you want to go. And now, just keep that in mind next time, you know? You give up a lot of rights by entering this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. So once you plead guilty, you can never change this. Is this what you want to do? How do you plead to the offense? Are guilty or not guilty? One more thing I'm going to advise you on. You live in Texas. People like their guns and they like their cars. And I cannot tell you how many times we've had someone who's had this same charge where they've gotten shot. Careful. Next time, you may very well end up with a hole in your stomach. Good luck. All right, Mr. Bale, so you're charged with 2 cases. You're charged with failure to identify oneself to a peace officer and criminal mischief. On which? On which case though? The failure to ID or the?
No, that is a plea.
Okay, that's a great deal. I hope you appreciate it, man. Because I'm telling you, if you pick up a criminal mischief and then you plead guilty to it, they can come around, turn around and sue you and say, he pled to this criminal mischief. I'm going to sue him so that they can fix whatever he broke. You got to be careful what you do in life because you never know when someone's going to come around and sue you to take everything you got. You know what I mean? So as part of the agreement, you're pleading guilty to the failure to ID. They're going to dismiss the criminal mischief. You're giving up a lot of rights by entering this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, you can never change this. It'll go on your record. You also need to understand, Mr. Bale, that from now on, you're facing a minimum of 90 days in jail for any cases that you pick up. 90 minimum. You understand? Is this what you want to do? How do you plead to the offense, sir? How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty? Are you guilty of the offense? All right, I'll find you guilty. I'll send it you to. Good luck to you, sir. Okay, thanks, Josh. I hear. Your case is nearly 500 days old. Do you have an offer in this case?
Yes, Judge. We have 6 month, we have a 6 month PTI offer.
When was that offered? 5 years ago?
It was
Ramirez.
put in February, Judge.
Okay. Are you guys going to hold to that offer?
Yeah, it's still open, Judge. And it looks like it was accepted.
What are the requirements?
Judge, we are requiring a driver safety course as well as 12 hours of community service and $500 restitution fee.
Okay.
Yeah, I pay that fee.
Mr. Ramirez, I'm giving you a week to complete everything. Your case is nearly 500 days old, and I'm not giving you any more time. The next time you come here, if you don't have everything satisfied, I'm immediately going to set your case for trial.
Yes, sir.
But the fact that you're just up and go and just, it's not going to continue. So you have 1 week to complete everything.
Mr. Chairman,
If you can, then the case will get dismissed. If you don't have it done, then I will immediately set it.
that's fine. Last time I got 2 days to be able to complete. I couldn't do it in 2 days. Last time you gave me some more. A week is fine.
Do you have the restitution receipt to be able to give it to them?
It's $500. I was just gonna say that we're gonna draft the receipt now, so we can.
Yeah. Before you leave, they're going to give you the receipt for you to be able to get a cashier's check or money order, to be able to pay the restitution, because otherwise you're not going to be able to pay it. But
Yeah.
if you really want to do it, then do it. When you put your heart into anything, Mr. Ramirez, you can get anything done.
Yes, sir.
So if you really work at it, I have no doubts that you can get it done. But like I said, you're out of time after that. Okay, Josh. That's so. A third is a state jail felony, and then you're looking at time, felony time, number one. Number two, when you have 2 indecent exposure convictions, you're supposed to register as a sex offender for 10 years. And if you don't, there are even more serious consequences. When you failure to register, that in and of itself is a 3rd-degree felony, and you're looking at 2 to 10 in the penitentiary. So be careful, sir. You could be really looking at further charges if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You need to inquire into this. I'm going to give you a lawyer today. These are things that you need to ask your lawyer to straighten these out, because if not, you could be facing potentially more charges. Do you understand? Now, what do you do with yourself these days? Where do you live? Where is that? I can't hear you. Speak louder.
Wherever I do general services and general cleaning,
Do you live in an apartment?
that help me.
Who are these people?
Little bit of me.
Well, he was allegedly here masturbating in a pool. Am I right? Was it a pool?
That's correct, Judge.
An apartment complex?
Yes, Judge.
Which apartment complex is this? Do you have the name?
It looks like Cedar Mills Apartments on
that where you live?
7200 Clairwood.
No.
Okay, you're not allowed to go back to the apartment.
Okay.
If I find that you go back, I'm going to revoke your bond. I'm going to put you in jail. You're not to pick up any new cases as well. And I don't want you to go anywhere where young children congregate. I don't want you to go to any places where there are young children. If I find that you do, likewise, I'm going to put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds if you don't follow these conditions. I'm very happy that you tested negative. That makes me really happy. So good job on that. Okay. But let me ask you this. Are you supposed to be taking any medication as well?
Every day at 4.
Okay. You said you take an antiviral?
Yeah.
Do you take any other medication, like any psychotropic that a doctor's prescribed to you? Okay, I want you to continue to take it. When you take the medicine that's prescribed to you, good things happen. A lot of people say, "Oh, I feel great. You know, I don't need this medication anymore." And then they stop taking it, and then bad things start happening. We don't want that to happen. So continue to take the medication. Go back to the house that you live, and don't get into any trouble. Do you have any questions? Do you have a cell phone? How is your lawyer going to be able to get a hold of you?
I have an email account.
How often do you check this email account? Wonderful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you write it down for me. Deputy, do you mind?
Yes, sir.
Deputy Young is going to get your email address. I'm going to give it to your lawyer. And then I'm going to send that to Will, your lawyer. He's going to email you now a phone number. When you get back to the house, do you have access to a phone? Okay, I'd like you to call him because you guys need to talk about this case. Once you do that, then I'm happy. I know that you're talking to him. You also must remain in communication with him. If Will tells me that you're not responding to the emails or phone calls or whatnot, and he can't find you, then I'm going to issue a warrant. Stay out of trouble. Don't pick up any new cases and stay in contact. Is that 14 or 17? Okay. The reset that we give you now will also have your lawyer's phone number on it. We will circle it for you so you know which number to call for him. If you ever have any problems, if you ever have any questions, you can always come back here and we can always help you out as well. Do you have any questions? Okay, Mr. Baez, stay out of trouble and good luck. Okay? All right. Don't leave because we need you to sign the conditions and after that, you'll be free to go. So Michael, do you mind filing those?
Already done, Judge.
Okay, great.
Judge, so that's states on.
States, yeah.
I had zoomed in and got the court's permission for us to have this setting on Monday because
Oh, that's right. I remember.
I'm at the CLE and I'm about to run back in.
Oh, that's right. We had rolled this over to, hey, we had rolled this to Monday because he couldn't be here. Cedillo couldn't be here. That's why.
And-
On Mr.
and-
Mann. That's right. No, I remember that. No. I guess you were, were you supposed to email Victoria?
I did, Judge, yesterday.
She didn't get one.
I have been having it through my emails, Judge. I apologize. I showed up this morning to try and reconfirm it, but
Well, look, let's finish this real quick because I mean, and we'll get you out of here. All
Well,
I
but-
have is, huh?
okay,
Mr. Mann has bond violations. Am I right?
yes, Judge, but given the nature of the bond violation, I very much wanted to be there to speak to him and speak to the court.
He
It is
tested
his first-
positive for methamphetamine, John.
Yes, Judge, that's why I would like to be there to address it.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm not letting him go. He tested positive for meth. His case is 1,300 days old. Am I right?
Yes, Judge, I believe so.
I'm sorry. You know, as much as I love you, John, I mean, he's testing positive for meth. You know, it's 1,341 days old. We give you multiple chances and now you're testing positive for meth and no,
Sir,
I'm sorry.
I can't even explain that to say that. I just came to court, my bills were and told me I had to come, and I didn't want to play with you at all.
Look, I don't want you to say anything without your lawyer being present. You know, I can have him reach out to you in the back you know, we can always roll it to Monday too, and we can talk about it then. But I mean, when do we say when, Mr. Mann? You know?
So, yes, I hear you, sir. I understand everything that you're not trying to, sir. I've never I understand. I don't
Okay,
have an
there's a
explanation for you.
John,
Can we keep him on for Monday, Judge?
absolutely, of course.
I understand
of
the
course.
revocation, Your Honor, but if I can
Yes.
address it Monday.
Absolutely. We'll talk Monday then.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate it.
Okay, bud. All right. Thank you for coming.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Give me 1 second. Let me just, I've got Mr. Johnson here and then it's okay. I'm going to test you 40 days from today. If you test positive for marijuana again, I'm going to revoke your bond and put you in jail. If you test positive for alcohol again, because I'm going to randomly test you, likewise, you will go to jail. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm ordering you to work full-time or get into school full-time as well. No contact with the complaining witness in this case. Do you understand? And I'm telling you now, it's very possible that they indict this as a third-degree felony. And if you have any prior pen trips, you could be looking at a serious 15 to 25 to life case. But like I told you before, I'm going to do everything in my power to protect the public at all costs. Do you understand? THA? And then he comes back and we test him in 40 days. Do you have a Texas driver license?
It's expired, but
And you are not allowed to drive. And I'm making it a condition of your bond that you're not to drive. And you will be signing an affidavit with me. You just had a tampering with a government record dismissed 3 months ago. So I'm ordering you not to drive as well, unless you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance. And I'm going to have you sign an affidavit with me today, promising me that you're not going to drive, Mr. Johnson. Sorry?
I got a question. I got a question.
Shoot.
Why you telling me like this case has nothing to do with drugs or like driving? I didn't get in trouble for no drugs. I have never got trouble for drugs or drinking or anything in that matter. I never in life got in trouble for it.
I don't want you using while you're on bond for this case, and I don't want you using and being in a state that could potentially lead to other charges because you're in a state that you shouldn't be. So if you have problems with drugs or alcohol, you better address it, Mr. Johnson, because if you don't, I'm going to do it for you.
I'm not saying I have a problem. I'm just trying to see like this case happened. I think they said in what?
When was it charged?
Yes, ma'am.
I get it, but Mr.
April 17th.
You know, listen, hold on, Mr. Johnson.
Since like with no alcohol, no marijuana, nothing.
Resisting arrest, assault of a family member, possession of a dangerous drug, possession of marijuana, unlawful restraint, theft, possession of a controlled substance, out-of-state fugitive case, harassment, out-of-state fugitive case where you had a desertion from LA County where we gave you a $60,000 bond, tampering with the government record, and now another. I'm not going to argue with you. I want to do everything in my power to keep the county safe. And if you're clean, I'm not going to, this is what's going to happen. I don't want you using alcohol. I don't want you using any illegal drugs. I don't want you to have contact with her. If you don't have a Texas driver license, don't drive. If you don't have liability insurance with your name, don't drive. I'm asking you on every single one of those things, I'm asking you to follow the law. I'm asking you to be a nice and good person out there. That's all I'm asking.
Excuse me. Is he just?
Do not talk to the prosecutor.
I didn't know she was the prosecutor.
Don't talk to the prosecutor.
Thank you.
You need us to talk to her. You just say THA, you're on the right. Yep. You need a hiring attorney, that's what the judge is saying.
I can't, I don't work, so
One of your bond conditions is that you get a full-time job, mister. This isn't up for negotiation. These are your bond conditions. I want you to become a productive member of society. That's it. So I'm going to have you now sign this affidavit promising us you're not going to drive. I will get you to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, I'll get you with pre-trial for your bond conditions, and then we'll see you in 30 days.
But I just want one more question. So when I come back to court, is this just for the drug test or just like the
Just make sure that you're in compliance for you to have a lawyer. And then in 40 days, I'm going to drug test you again. So don't smoke any more weed after today. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,